Aarati, you can start.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, sure. So good evening, friends. I am Aarati Savur, CEO of Parisar Asha. I welcome all of you in today's session of Ask the Expert series. And today's topic is very, very important. It is overcoming overthinking. I'm sure everyone is really facing problems with this overthinking, habits of ours. And even I am also one of them. Like, though I keep on preaching and I'm giving gyan to the entire world, and like how chill you need to, accept your things and go with the flow of life and all. But yeah, at times even counselors need counseling. So today, instead of, like me over talking, I would like to introduce all of you to my very dear friend, Dr. Yatri Thacker. So she has been associated with us for quite some years, and let me tell you about her, because she is going to guide us with this, like how we can overcome with our overthinking habit, because most of our stress, our anxiety, everything is related to overthinking, and there is nobody who can, stop overthinking. And in fact, Dr. Yatri, I would like to tell you that, I received many calls after this session when we announced this particular session. And they were like, is it, I mean, this is a, first of all, like they congratulated me and they said, thank you so much. You are doing such a great job. And this is something which is need of the hour. Yes. Everybody is going through a lot of trauma and, lot of anxiety because of this current situation of everyone's life. So definitely this is going to help them. But one question was very, like I was quite, I don't know whether should I laugh or what, but he said, madam, I will attend this session, but can you give me guarantee that I will stop overthinking? I said, अगर सर ऐसा होता तो सब लोग पूरी दुनिया भी इतनी, like you all would have been so happy. But yeah, what we are trying to do today is we will give you tips and tricks. I'm sure everybody knows we always Google, but main important thing is we have to practice, we have to follow. Yes. So somewhere, in fact, I was talking to Dr. Yatri just 2-3 days ago. Even I had a panic attack of anxiety. So definitely, I also worked on certain. That is something, like which she is going to share, the ideas and different strategies, how we can overcome this overthinking habit of ours. So Dr. Yatri is, she's a basically homeopathic physician and also mental health expert. And she's also founder of Baby and Me program, a well-known writer from Bombay Times and Femina and Wellness Times, and also Mother and Baby magazine. And she has received many awards in her field. So thank you, Dr. Yatri, for joining us once again. Remember, we had done earlier when we started with this Ask the Expert series, and then today you are back again with Parisar Asha on this online webinar. So now over to you. Now you take us through, because even I need help.
Thank you so much, Aarati, for introducing me. And yes, it's always a pleasure to be a part of Parisar Asha, who is doing such tremendous work in contributing in others' life. And what better way of dealing and knowing about this topic, which we all in a way suffer, which is called overthinking. So I would like to share my screen, if that's okay. And also, I would want to tell participants it's like an interactive, webinar. I don't want to make it just one-sided. So be open to ask me questions, and I will be running through a series of introspective questions. So
yeah, in fact, Dr. Yatri, we also told everyone to keep their book and pen handy. I'm sure all the participants, they have their book and pen ready. And what you can do is you can use the chat box, because your videos we have, like not given that permission because of we are live on Facebook. So okay, maybe they can interact with us on the chat box.
Yes, that would be great. That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah. So and Dr. Yatri, you have started with your mic.
Now I'm starting. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
So if any messages, put it in the chat box so I will know it. Yeah.
Sure.
And I'll share the screen. So I cannot share the screen. Can you guys see the screen?
Shri, can you just check? Yeah.
It was visible earlier. Can you
Okay.
share it one more time?
Yes, I'll do that. Just give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, you had just shown that before we started.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Visible now?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, great. So yes, overcoming is an issue that most of us go through. And is it overcoming, or is it something thinking out of the box? Or is it thinking which is not helping you to move further? That's the question that one must ask. And so, to understand what we actually are going through and what is overcoming and overthinking, is let's just run through this and you will understand better. Okay. All right. So, there are these questions that you need to ponder on. Okay. And what we need to ponder is this, and understand deeply that thoughts are powerful. And actually, these thoughts create your reality. So, whatever is going on in your mind, whatever these thoughts we are creating, they are going to create what we want to become, what we want to be, and what we are. So, remember, thoughts are so powerful in our lives. And did you know that how many of these thoughts can we think at once? If anyone has an answer, put it in the chat box. How many of the thoughts can we think at once? Yeah? Just guess, guys, put some answers there. Okay, multiple, somebody's written 1, 5, 6. The truth is, at a time, we have 4 to 5 thoughts in 1 second. So when we are thinking, actually, we can have 5 different things at a time. This is for normal, average people. Okay? How many negative thoughts can one have in a day? Just go ahead with your answers still. Keep guessing. This will be great. How many negative thoughts can one have in a day?
It's usually 80%.
Somebody's written 3 to 4 negative thoughts. Okay, let me twist the question. Somebody's written 50,000. Somebody's written 5. 70%. Emma, okay. So let me twist this answer and answer you in this way. That on a normal average day, we can have thoughts of around 30 to 40,000. But the negative thoughts ranges as low as 12,000 a day to maximum it can go to 70,000 a day. Just imagine, in 24 hours, we can have negative thoughts of 70,000. And remember my first statement of saying, our thoughts make our reality. So imagine negative thoughts, 70,000 a day. What can happen to us? Okay, these are all eye openers. The next question is it normal to be constantly thinking? Can anyone answer? Is it normal to constantly think? Someone has written it's all about our perception. Yes, Ketki, you're right. In a way, yes. Okay. Is it normal? Yeah. Great. Is it normal to be constantly thinking? Someone has answered no, yes, it's normal. I would say it's not normal to be constantly thinking. It is actually this way. When we are born, we have our own inert personality. When you see a newborn baby who is just 2 days old, they are sensitive to light and noise. You must have seen these newborns, when you switch on the light, they'll make a face. When there is sound,
They won't sleep easily. What is that? A newborn baby who doesn't have thoughts. That's what we perceive. They have the inert personality. But over the time, you develop your thoughts, your perceptions, your behaviors through your thinking and thoughts. And therefore, noticing your thoughts is the most important thing that one should do in their lives. And having these thoughts constantly is normal as long as you balance it, as long as you transform these thoughts into something which is creating good for you and again in balance. So anywhere, if one has around 30,000 to 40,000 thoughts a day, it's good. Okay. But anywhere, if a person is too high or too low, then think about it. Then they really need to listen to this session. Okay. So these are eye-opener questions, friends. Imagine how many thoughts can bombard your head. But when that thought comes in between your quality of your life, that is when maybe we think that these thoughts are hampering us. Okay. So what is this overthinking? So thinking about something for too long. It could be, a negative thought that if somebody is ill in your family and you keep on thinking, when will they be okay? What if they die? What if they have heart disease? And you're thinking too much about it. Okay. If the disease is chronic, maybe you're thinking too much about it. But if it's a short phase, like for example, if you have a tiff with your boss and we still keep on thinking that how do I make my boss happy? Yes, that could be a temporary or acute overthinking. And when the overthinking is for a longer time, that's called chronic overthinking. So, are you one of those who's thinking about something for too much and too long, about the same situation too much and too long? When you just can't get these thoughts out of your head, it can cause sometimes sleeplessness and restlessness and fatigue and brain fag. Brain fag is literally where you can't think much and your brain is just bombarded with that single thought. Or even if you have continuous negative self talk, then you could be one of those who is overthinking. Okay. But this overthinking, as we think that it is causing, it could be productive or unproductive. So when you're overthinking and over planning, there are some who call me and say, Doc, you are telling me I'm overthinking, but I'm actually thinking towards the future, how I can plan, how I can move forward, how I can do something good for someone. Isn't that good? If your overthinking comes in the way of your normal life, of your quality of life means the basic necessity or the general physical necessity that we see in our patients. Like your sleep should be at least 7 to 8 hours. You should be having a balanced, a healthy mind. You should have a me time. You should be able to spend quality time, not only with yourself, but with your family members. If you are being able to do that without thinking, then that is productive thinking. That is not coming in the way of your quality. But if it is otherwise, then think you are definitely overthinking. Now, if you are now understanding that this is overthinking, I would want to ask you a few other things. Is now it's the time to grab your pen and paper. If you want, you can answer in the chat box or even write in your pen and paper so that we understand and self-evaluate even better. Okay, so I want all of you to write down 3 sentences each, starting with these statements. I shall also do it. So let's do it together. Come on. So write down 3 sentences each, starting with these statements. For example, I should have. So for example, I should have finished this task 5 years back. Just an example. Or I should have not broken my friend's heart. Write down whatever is bothering in your mind at this present moment. Okay, 3 sentences each. The next example, I can give you is I could have. The statement starts, which says, I could have finished my degree, my MBA degree, or I could have stayed in that house. Simple example. Okay. You can even write in the chat box if anybody wants to share. So I can take that person as an example when we do self-evaluation and run through of what and how we can deal with it. Okay, it's really going to help. If someone wants to do it, go ahead. And if you want to keep it confidential, you can keep it with yourself. Okay. The next question is, why can't I? Okay. Now, again, for example, why can't I work 15 hours a day? Or why can't I please my mother-in-law? Whatever the thing comes to your mind. Yes, great. Someone has shared, Tanisha has shared, why can't I do anything right? Okay, great. Tanisha, keep writing, guys. Why can't I be consistent? So write something which goes starting with that sentence. Why can't I? Take your 5 minutes and write it. Let me tell you, there's nothing right or nothing wrong. Even if it sounds weird, it's fine. Write whatever comes to your mind. Okay. Next, what if I'm not? What if I wasn't a doctor? Something like that. What if I'm not a mother? What if I'm not? What if I'm not a director of a company? Too much responsibility. Okay, just giving examples. Go ahead.
Good, good, good. Yes.
Sorry, Aarti, you said something?
No. I'm just reading participants. They are writing there in the chat
I'm
box.
so happy. Yes, it's great to open up. Okay.
Okay, next. What will happen if? What will happen if my mother falls sick? What will happen if I get a heart attack? Whatever comes to your mind, whatever is bothering you at this present moment, or whatever your thoughts have been with you. What will happen if I get corona? A very, very common question. Yes, somebody's written, what will happen if I stop talking to him? What will happen if my family is apart? What will happen if I get this disease? What will happen if I'm overthinking?
There's somebody who written, what will happen if I don't get a job?
Okay, once you all have done, just put a thumbs up and keep that paper on the side. Okay, take your time. Again, we have enough time, right, Aarti? We have,
Yes,
right?
yes.
If there are more than 3 sentences or thoughts coming in your mind with the starting of this sentence, you can still write more. It's not necessary to write only 3, okay? Like I should have been a better mother. I should have earned more money. Whatever is coming. I could have been a better sister. I could have been a better marketing person. Whatever is coming, write down. Why can't I accomplish this task? Or why can't I be happy? What if I am not, whatever you want to fill? What if I'm not an Indian citizen? What will happen if my children fall sick? What will happen if I have no money? Okay. Once you're done, put a thumbs up so I know to move ahead. Okay.
Yeah, it's mostly done, Dr. Yatri.
I'll give you 1 more minute and then I'll go ahead. Okay. Okay. I think I'll move ahead. Okay. So keep this paper on the side and let's see how it goes. Next, turn the page and write down at this moment what your worries are or your fears are. Like, I worry all the time about my father's health. Anything. Or your fears. I fear that I'll become a broke one day. Or I fear people will not accept me the way I am. Whatever your fears and worries. On top, you write worries and fears. Write down at least 5. Quickly. You can put it in the chat box as well. Yeah, somebody's written, I worry about the future. Somebody's written something else, right? Worry, I can't focus. Somebody's written, I fear no one will like me. Yeah, our mind, this brain is literally this chatterbox, which goes on and on and on. Somebody's written about time that they can't manage. Worry about being a bad example for younger siblings. Okay. I have fear, what if close friends leave me? Great. Good going. Now, before I go on to the next slide, I would want to break this ice by saying that whatever you hold on in your mind on a consistent basis is what is exactly you experience and become in your life. With this thought, go back to what all you have written and ask yourself, is that what you really want to become? Because there is this very thin line between successful people and an average person. And what is that thin line? Successful people too have thoughts in their mind, but they are the ones to self-evaluate and change those thoughts into what they want to become. And for that, these are my self-transformational tools, which if you do consistently for at least 21 days with a lot of patience and perseverance, I guarantee you will change your overthinking into what you really want to become for yourself. And my tips for that are, number one, and it actually goes, the secret lies in the alphabets from A to G. Aarti loves doing that, right, Aarti?
Yes.
Yeah. And we both are quite similar in a lot of ways. So yes, these are my quotes for you. The first and the foremost is A for awareness. We all have our set patterns of thinking, and somehow we go round and round around those patterns. But it is up to us when we want to be aware. So start having an aerial view of what you're doing. When I say aerial view, it literally means when we are flying on the flight, when you look down, that tall building where rich people live and those slums where different kind of people lives looks the same. We are having that aerial view. But when you start looking from that aerial view of awareness, you understand that you're actually into the same loop of either being in the future, what will happen, what will happen, what will happen, or in your past, because of your past experiences, for which this present moment is something you're breaking on, and you're breaking out and you're missing out on it. So A for awareness, bring in that awareness and see where your loop lies. The loops could be at these different 5 levels, which I have seen in my practice. First one is insecurity or devoid of love. So these kind of people are all the time thinking, why I'm not loved, why people don't like me, what can I do to appreciate others, what can I do so that I look attractive. They are the ones who have low confidence. They are the ones who want to look best and yet not successful. So they are the ones in those categories of insecurities. Next pattern or blockage which I see is something, people having issues in relationships, be it with their friends, be it with their partners, be it with their lovers, be it for having extramarital affairs, or with their mother-in-law. They keep on having the same kind of issues of relationships because of certain patterns that they've developed in their childhood, because of the experiences, because of even the schooling. Everything matters, and the main years that develops this pattern is between 2 to 10 years age. Therefore, parenting becomes a very, very important role. So the second blockage or pattern which I see in patients is in relationships. Either they are not happy, they suddenly have fights, they are indifferent to people, but that's where they are stuck on. So check where you are. The third blockage or pattern that I see in people is finances. No matter how much ever they work, they are never happy with what they have, or they are not being able to reach a certain amount of finance where they want to reach. There is always a setback and failure. It reminds me of a case that I'd seen this gentleman in Times of India while I was working. And he said, Doc, there is something to my pattern. I said, what's it? He says, when I get a job, I'm closest to the directors of the company. They love me for my work, they appreciate, and I can always make them happy. But suddenly, for some reason, something happens to me and I feel like shifting my job. Either my relationship with my boss goes on a toss, or they don't trust me. And so the Times of India job was his 28th job. He had a superb background of IIM, IIT, every qualification you can ask for, but he had developed a pattern. And I helped him to understand his pattern. His pattern was about just throwing the extra wagon to get all the attention. And when he gets attention, he goes into procrastination mode, which he did for every company. So A for awareness, take an aerial view and understand right from your teenage age till now, what is it that's setting back? Is it your insecurity? Is it your finances? Is it your relationship? Or is it the fourth one is anxiety about health? These people read a lot on internet. The slightest cough, they correlate to a bigger disease. They're always anxious. They get into panic mode. Something will happen, something. They're always in the future mode. Are you one of those in that awareness pattern? Think about it. Okay. So the first is be aware. It is, I always give these examples to my patients. It is really like this, that say a chronic smoker comes to me at my clinic and says, Doc, I want to quit smoking. That smoker is a chronic smoker. He smokes continuously. But just that awareness that I want to quit will help him to change. He had been seeing on his cigarette box every day that cigarette is injurious to health. But till he did not become aware, he could not bring a change. Awareness is so important. Okay, first is awareness. Let's see B. Once you are aware of your pattern, okay, it's necessary to understand, okay, this pattern is causing overthinking. B is for break. Make a conscious effort of breaking those thoughts. Now, how do you do that? By C, controlling your emotions, and also bringing a break to your past or the future mode that you are. So when we did the previous questions, they were all either negative. They start with the past problem. What if I was this? Or it went in the future. What will happen if? It's time to be aware. Now see your answers, what you've written. Are you in that negative overthinking? Are you in the future overthinking? Or are you in the past overthinking? And therefore, once you're aware, it's necessary to make the breaks of B. Okay. Now, you can control your emotions because remember when I told you the example that the child actually makes a pattern and creates it. If you can create a pattern, you can also uncreate a pattern. It is just about being skillful, putting your consciousness and making an effort to change it. So controlling emotions is actually in our hands. So one can try this tool, which works fantastic. It's called 10 seconds increment. Say if you are having overthinking, because of that, you are really restless and having negative thoughts, you go to B and say, I want to put a break on my negative thought. So you need to control that. So you can take the 10-second increment by saying, these 10 seconds, I can be restless. I can overthrow my emotions. But the next 10 seconds is what I'm going to transform. I'll be calm. I'll be balanced. I'll be thinking of the present. Then again, next 10 seconds, you can go into your future thing or whatever you're worrisome. Again, go back to your 10 seconds, but make it a conscious effort. If you do this for 21 days, trust me, after 21 days, there will come a time where you don't need to use 10 seconds increment. It will just flow with you. Okay, so for controlling emotions, use this 10-second increments. And then go into direct questions. Now, I would like to take a question from what you've put it in chat, and I'll tell you what does direct question mean. Direct question means that you read the question, you change it into a positive question, and start with what, how, rather than why. Start with what, how, rather than why. Let me just take a question. Okay, I worry about my financial debts. Instead of saying, I worry, which is a negative thought, you are in the future because you don't know what's going to happen. You want to create something. Make a question. What can I do to resolve my financial issues? What can I do to increase more finance in my life? So start your question with what rather than why. How can I bring how can I bring more finance in my house? Or what are the skills I can develop? So change that into negative to positive. I can give you one more example. Like if you say, I worry a lot about health, you can say, what can I do to heal my body? The question of worry about health, which is negative, you made it into positive because illness into heal or health, and then trying to find answers towards it rather than just being boggled in the same pattern of overthinking. Okay. You want me to give more examples? Anybody? Like somebody has written, I have no friends. What can I do to be social? Am I getting happiness by being by with myself? Rather than saying, oh, I have no friends, you become more sad, you become into, me mode or pity mode of self. And instead, if you just ask this question, a direct question, am I happy to be with myself? It could be that you have no friends, but maybe you are your best friend and you yourself are the best company you're giving. Or you can start asking open-ended questions by saying, what can I do to make more friends? You can start your morning walks, meet new people, try and interact. There are ways to do it. But till you don't be a question and you just make a statement which ends there, you cannot grow. Okay, so asking questions opens up a lot to us. Okay, rather than giving a statement, I can give you one more example. For example, when I help patients to break their financial blockages, I usually ask them, what is the target that you want to achieve? Say in 365 days, what is the revenue you want to achieve? And if they say, okay, doc, per month I want to earn 10 lakh rupees. Now they have given me a certain ambition to achieve. But what if that person has more potential than more than 10 lakhs also? So, with your direct question, ended up by asking even greater. So, what can I do to improve my finances and even greater? You don't know what your potentials are. We need to completely open up in receiving rather than shutting down and bringing a statement and stopping there. Okay. Next, ease. In this whole competition of proving ourselves, being like somebody else, or achieving that target, or having those fancy things that somebody else has, we don't, aren't we missing out on our ease? When we get that ease, when we take a pause, when we go into retrospection, that's the time that helps us to give that fulcrum or pressure to push us even forward. So, with all these awareness and breaks and controlling your emotions, ask yourself, is it giving me ease? So, let me again go back to the question where I asked you about your worries and fears. Are those things giving you ease? I am very sure all of your answers will be no. All of yours. It won't give us ease. And ease is actually this feeling of feeling expanded, like how we go to a temple or how you sit down and meditate, that 2 seconds of meditation. Ease is exactly that way. So after asking A, B, C, and D to stop overthinking, bringing in ease will help you to accelerate that brake. Literally, that car moving at the speed of 120 and you put a brake, it takes some time, but that ease will bring that real brake to your thoughts. Okay, so every time ask, is this bringing me ease? What can I do to bring ease and joy in my life? So ease and joy are these two basic necessities that we all require in our lives. So go ahead with it. Next, forgive and let go. It is not as easy as I'm saying. I understand that. We all have gone through our ups and downs. But the minute you learn to let go, you will feel the ease. You will be that person who will love to forgive and actually grow in their lives. So I was the other day I was reading some article, and it was so nicely written that there were these two people who were arguing over some subject. The person who actually let go, he knew he was right, but it is actually this way. He thought in his mind, and he brought this from his negative thought in his mind. This guy doesn't know anything, he's not knowledgeable, he's not ready to listen. He changed it into a positive thought, and what did he think? He said, well, I will let go because argument is really like this mosquito on somebody's cheek. that till you don't let go, otherwise you actually hit yourself. Okay, so we need to forgive and let go for ourselves, not for anybody else. Just for yourself. If you truly love yourself, forgive the person and let go. And the last tip, G for gratitude. I think Aarati has some amazing, tool she wants to share with you all for gratitude, and then I'll take it forward. But gratitude, guys, I want to tell you one thing about gratitude. And 70% of our body is made up of water, and 70% on the earth is water. The equilibrium is actually the same. Every cell, 70% is water. Imagine. When we are in this space of gratitude, that water transforms into a space of, openness. And that is what we receive. So what you give to that water is really like this. You put it in the drainage, it will go in the drainage. You put it in the river, it will become river. If you put it in the sea, it will become salty water. Imagine what are we doing to that water in our body. Okay, so with that gratitude, you can change everything. So Aarati, over to you.
Oh my God, I was so engrossed actually. And wonderful, Dr. Yatri. It's really awesome. Like your A to G. In fact, we can keep on adding up to Z. There are so many things in our life, definitely. But sure, this A to G really works for everyone's life. And I think this gratitude is, as rightly you said, I have something to share because that's even my mantra too, towards my life too. So I would like to share with everyone, whenever you feel stressed, whenever you are overthinking, what you can do is you can take your pen and paper, and you can do it right now with us. On your left hand side of your book, suppose if you have a book, and on your left hand side, write down all your challenges in life, like today's date, today's time, today's moment, whatever challenges you are facing, whatever problems you are facing, you can just quickly write down. Maybe in a 1 minute's time, you can just quickly write down. And on the right hand side, I'm sure everybody has certain blessings in life. So you need to list down, you have to count on your blessings. So you can do this exercise whenever you feel little low, little depressed. You should do this particular exercise. So right now, like we are telling you, you can go ahead and do this exercise, and maybe you can type in the chat box. I just need to know, we are not asking you to write down your blessings or write down your, problems. Many problems can be very, very personal. You don't want to share it over here on this open forum. What you can do, just write down the numbers. So your number 1 has to be the biggest problem or the challenge what you're facing right now, and how the gravity of the situation. Based on that, you can list down their numbers. Then on your blessings also, whichever blessing you feel okay, this is my top greatest blessing, so write down that first blessing, and then you can start counting with give your preferences of that number in the order of you feel okay, this blessing is number 1, number 2, number 3. So we just need to know the number of blessings and number of problems what you are facing. So yeah, go ahead, and maybe in a minute's time, you can start typing in the chat box the numbers, your blessings numbers and your problems. Okay, blessings 6, problems 3. Good. So anybody over here who has joined us on in the Zoom or even Facebook Live, who has more number of problems than their blessings? Okay, infinite blessings. I am alive. Problem Corona. Yeah, so everybody is typing their blessings are uncountable. So once you know that you're so blessed, then I think there is no need of worrying so much. You just have to let go. Of course, at times you do feel, and that time you should say it's okay to be not okay. You need to just, like at times, as Dr. Yatri was saying, that, that 1 minute, okay, you can do whatever you want, all nonsense in your, like in your mind. But later on, the next minute, you have to really take control of your mind. So now over to you, Dr. Yatri, and I will request everyone, whenever you feel low, down, you should count on your blessings. That really works for me. Yeah, Dr. Yatri.
Great. I want to add one more tool with your gratitude. If
Yeah,
that's
sure.
okay. Yeah. So, I tell patients to keep
A gratitude jar. Okay, so take a nice jar, label it as gratitude. Take another jar, label it as blessings. And whatever gratitude you have, write 5 gratitudes, different gratitudes in a day, and put it in the jar. And same goes for the blessing. Now fill it till the top. And once it is full, every day, just shake it, pick up one thing and read it. Trust me, guys, all your problems will fly away and you will actually achieve even greater. Because when you are in the space of gratitude, you have actually opened to receive something new. This overthinking is the chatterbox which has filled your mind with something in the past or something in the future. But when you are in that gratitude, your mind is actually absolutely space free and it is ready to receive new. So try this tool of gratitude jar and the blessings jar. And I should say, you must have gratitude for even smallest things like maybe
Absolutely.
laptop.
Yes.
I'm so thankful that we are able to do. Had we ever thought of this, hundreds of people connected together? Never. So smallest thing to the biggest thing. And don't forget to thank yourself for what you are. I thank for my beautiful eyes, for my lovely smile, for whatever you are. And you see the magic around you. Okay. So with this, I want to give a last tool to you all. Are these everyday affirmations? Okay. Just write down this affirmation, click a pic, take a snapshot, whatever. But if you all want, you can read with me, say this every single day, twice a day for 21 days, and see the loop and the pattern changing. Okay. So the affirmations are: my mind is calm and at ease. I trust the process of life. I am living in the present moment. I am full of peace and joy. I release all negative thoughts that do not serve me. I am in control of my thoughts. Okay. Believe in each statement. There are times when your mind says something else, but you are saying something else. But the words have a greater energy than your thoughts. So just by using these lovely affirmative sentences, the mind chatter will just run away. And then you're open to receive something new. Okay. So with this, I would want to end my session. Any questions? There is a small short video, Aarti.
Yeah, sure.
My patients that, so if is that okay if I just play it here? So I conduct these transformational sessions, which is my holistic approach of homeopathy, health, hygiene, and happiness, and been blessed with lots of patients' reviews. So I would just want to play it.
So thank you so much, Dr. Yatri. And I would also like Shri to share our Parisar Asha's helpline number too. So you can connect with Dr. Yatri for any issues related to your energy, to your homeopathy, or anything. Of course, and she also takes care of mental health too. But this is also, like I would like to share, this is a free toll-free helpline where we have counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists on board who can help you out with lot of issues related to your mental health, with your children, with your parents, anybody, with schools, with teachers, anybody can, get in touch with us. It is open from morning 9 o'clock till night 9 o'clock and all the days throughout the week. So thank you so much, Dr. Yatri. And if there are any questions anybody would like to ask Dr. Yatri, please go ahead, and now
Yes,
the forum is open for questions.
yes, please.
Yeah, anybody would like to, you can even switch on your cameras and you can talk.
Yes, please. Any questions?
Yeah, I think no questions. You have conducted so beautifully, so I don't think anybody has any questions.
My pleasure. I'm always here. So thank you so
So
much,
yeah,
Aarti.
thank you so much, Dr. Yatri. And yeah, looking forward to have one more session. And no, I have decided that I'm
Yes.
also going to, follow your A to G. And so I'm also taking little break even for this session, because I realize it's taking too much, like I have been into so many things, and and I keep on overthinking for these sessions and for everything. So for everyone, next Thursday, we will be having a session on reopening of preschool. And then from the month of November, we will be having alternate Thursdays. So I'm also going to, take a break and, stop overthinking. So,
Yes.
yeah. So is there any question?
Lovely. Do drop in your comments once you
Yeah.
utilize these tools for 21 days.
Yeah, I think everybody is just sending their thanks. So we can
My
close the
pleasure.
session over here. And thank you so much, Dr. Yatri.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So thank you, everyone, and take care. Good night.
Bye-bye. Good night.